Hello, and thank you for using VESHTER WebStudio. In this tutorial, we are going to briefly review the rich text editor that we use in our Web Studio. Basically, all the features work the same as they would in your normal word processor. I'm going to go over a couple of these things and be a little more specific so that you can understand their utilization. First is the full screen mode. When you click this, it will simply toggle so that you can see this in the full screen or back to the normal in-screen view. Then we have a few other options. You can select some text to affect this text. You can click the B to bold, italic to italicize, the underline to underline things. You can also strike through. Next, you will see a text alignment section. This section, for example, is already left aligned, but using these features we can then center align it, we can right align it, or we can justify, which makes it straight on the left and right side. And then you can see a comparison of the same paragraph with those different alignments. The next part is the paragraph and heading section. This drop down will allow you to pick what kind of formatting you want. Simply put your cursor in that section and then you can switch it. Very commonly on our site, we will put headers of various kinds with one of these header tags. Simply changing your row's value or this text's value to one of these headers will allow you to use the same formatting here that's used on your web page. So for example, if your representative tells you that your theme is using header 3, you would want to take this text and make your header use header 3. This is a very simple method of making sure that all your text looks very nice on your web page and is very uniform. The next section is very simple: cut, copy, and paste. This is the same as on every text editing or word editing program that you have. Except for these two additions, paste is plain text and paste from Word. Paste from plain text will just take formatted text and will paste it as just the text without any of the formatting. Pasting from Word will allow special characters that will not appear online to be printed on your page correctly. One very common error is people take and they write something in Word and things like quotes or special characters come in and they break their page or will have funny symbols on the web page. If you see this kind of thing, it's probably because you pasted with an incorrect option when you should paste from Word. It's very simple, and then everything appears as it should. If you want to search through your text, you can use the Find option or the Find and Replace option next to it. Next, let's review the list features. You can simply make a couple lines, select them, and then select the unordered list. The unordered list will make these things a list which you can break up, organize, so it looks nice. Here, we're going to make a numbered list. First, I'll break them up with enters, select, and then I'll use this, and you'll see it's already formatted. If you don't like what you've done at any point, you can undo or redo using these options here. Now let's make a link. Let's say we want to make this line a link to VESHTER.com. Simply click the link option and type in the address to the website that you want to go to. Click insert. Or let's say you want to make it to a file that you have already in your page manager. Select some text, select the link option, and then click the browse button to the right. This will bring up a pop-up. In this pop-up, you can go find a file that you want. We're going to go ahead and use just the main page, which will show up. Press select, and that'll insert it. Clicking on this link on the main page, on the page that we're creating, will take you to the main page. Now, you can put your mouse into that link. If you want to remove it, and click the unlink button. The link is removed and it goes just back to being plain text. Next, let's insert an image. First, I'm going to make a little space for my image. Then I'm going to click the Insert Edit Image button, and this is going to take us to a page with a little bit of information. All you really need is this top part. If you don't know the image's URL, you can click the Browse button. We're going to go into the Images folder, and let's pick an image. How about our blue cube that we used for this other section? Click Insert, and our image shows up here. Now, you can select the image, and you can resize it. We want this to be big, but that's too big, so we're going to make it small. We can also move it down if we want, somewhere into this text, and it will go there. Or we can put it back up here, so it doesn't look so weird. Then, let's say that you know a lot about making web pages. Here, you can click the Edit HTML Source. This will show you the source of the web page that you're working on, and you can write in there just in HTML code. You can't write in JavaScript, but CSS is fine. Now, let's make a table. Let's make some more space here. If you don't know much about tables, this may be a little complex for you. But we're going to try to explain this in such a way that you can understand. A table is basically just a grid. You can click here to insert a new table. It's going to ask you a few questions. These are pretty simple. We're going to make one that's 4 columns wide, and it's going to be 3 columns low or deep. First, let's insert our table. Now you'll see the little sections, and they're very small, and you can name them. You could say ID for 1, perhaps. Say color, brand, and cost. And we're going to use cars for this example. Now, I want to make each of these bold, because these are going to be my headers. Now, I can number these, and we can discuss information about these cars. And then you can enter your costs in. Now, you can resize this table, and it will resize with you. There you go. Now, let's say you wanted to center this. Very simple. Now, if you look up here, you have some other table options. You could change all the properties of your row. The row goes from left to right, like this. Or you can just change one cell. A cell is one single little block. And this will open up a menu that will give you basic properties about the table. This is all pretty complex, so you may want to avoid this unless you really know what you're doing. The next set of options will insert a new row before the row that you're clicking on. Simply click the row, and it will add a new one. We want to make this one 2, so now this one can be 3. Again, I'm going to center line that one. Then, let's say I'm making this and I realize I don't want that row. Then I can go here, and I can delete that row. Similarly, I can add a row below. I can add a column before. I can add a column after. Or I can delete that column, and they'll go away. There you go. That's pretty simple for making tables. Now, just a few more things. Let's say you want to add some subscript. You can click this, and now you're typing in subscript. Or, here, you can write in superscript, and that'll write the numbers a little above. There you go, and now we have covered all the basic features of our WYSIWYG-based rich text editor. If you need more help, we have a detailed list of all of our features available in our support center at www.veshter.com/support.